What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Trench in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let me start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to talk about today, man. So let's get started. What's going on, Mo?
Man, slow motion. Finally got home from Memphis yesterday.
Yeah, I know you was moving yesterday. Look. Before we get started, man, we got a guest with us today too, man. Today, man, we're going to be talking about. Well, let me just line it up here. People used to say it takes a village to raise a child. You remember that, right, Mo?
Right.
But in reality, right now, somewhere along the way, man, we lost that village. Like back in the day, the whole block looked out for you. If you acted up, Miss Johnson next door down the street checked you before you.
Carte blanche to beat your butt.
Dude, come on. Now we
didn't tell your parents what you got a whooping for.
Dude, I mean, yeah, you get that double shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now we barely know our neighbors' names, man. Let alone trusting the guy that's guide the next generation, these kids. Okay, and the truth is that even though it takes a village, but the question is, where's that village? Where's it at? And more importantly, what does rebuilding it, if it can be rebuilt, what does it look like? Because if we don't figure that out, our kids are not growing up, not just growing up with ignorance, but they're growing up without a foundation. We're going to talk about that, okay, man? Before we get to that, okay? What's up, Steve?
What's going on?
What up, cuz? Man?
Good.
You know, we gotta stop what's going on out here, man. Charlie Kirk in Utah, man. He just got killed. He got killed. All right. I don't care what side of the party you on, okay? Charlie Kirk deserves death. Nobody. He just was doing what he does, okay? Period. Okay. And we also have there was a shooting in a school in Colorado. I thought we was done with the shooting in the schools, y'all. Come on. Let's stop. Let's cut it out. Let's get better. You know what I'm saying? We gotta cut all of this stuff out. This is ridiculous, man. What's going on, Gina?
Hey, fill me in. I hear y'all. We only 3 minutes in, and y'all all deep in a conversation.
Well, we're talking about the shooting in Colorado at the school, and then Charlie Kirk, the activist that got shot dead in Utah.
Yeah.
You know, prayers to those
I know
families.
That's crazy. Robert and I was talking about that. That is absolutely ridiculous. I don't care what your political views are. It's not a death sentence.
No, not at all.
Nope.
Not at all. Everybody's entitled to that, and I think this it's a travesty, man. So let's prayers for Charlie Kirk's family, okay, and those people who got injured at the shooting in Colorado, at the school in Colorado, man. It's just too much, guys. We gotta get back to praying, okay, and get back to peace.
But today it's so much hate being spewed out in this world, and it's like we talked about with the mental health segment. It's a lot of people that they already got this stuff going on mentally, and then they're being fed all this other negative stuff, and it's just too much for them. You
Well,
know, they're acting on it.
I want to get our guest on here because he doesn't have long to stay. Okay, we're talking about today. What happened to that village? You know, village. It took a village to raise a child. Okay, where's that village at now? It's gone. Okay, I invited one of our friends, longtime friends, family member. Okay, Coach James Bond. What's going on, bro? Hold on, let me get you there. There he is.
Welcome.
How are you guys today? How you guys doing today?
All right.
Very good.
That dude always dapper, man. He always dapper. Look at him. Look at him. Always dapper.
That's because I work too much. That's what that is.
Appreciate you, though, man. But welcome to the show, man. This is a subject, man. I think that we talked about mental health yesterday, but this is another subject that needs to be talked about, and that's the village. What happened to the village, Coach? What happened to the village?
Well, it's a few things with that. The first thing that, and it's just my professional opinion, being coaching a lot of young men lately, a lot more athletes lately, of course. First of all, we as Black men have to apologize to Black women. That's the first step. That's the first step. Because we decided to get our loins soiled 20, 30, whatever years ago and produce all these people with no guidance, with no leadership.
Yeah.
And they talk about, grandma was trying to get to the club faster than her daughter was, and that kind of thing. That was it's progression. It's progression. A few years ago, I had an incident where I had some kinfolks back up in Michigan, and so two ladies were in court. One lady's son got killed, and so the other boy, he's different gang situations. And so the lady was sitting there talking. She said, well, "You don't know who I am. He killed his. Do you realize he killed his brother?" And so the young man looked back in handcuffs, like, "What you mean I killed my brother?" Because my cousins had 16 kids apiece before they were even 17 years old. 16 kids each by 16 different women. So these boys grew up not knowing they were blood brothers.
Right.
Wow. So this boy literally had nurse breakdown in the courtroom and literally lost his mind. He's in the insane asylum today because he just lost. I killed my brother. And I say that because we have the audacity now to say, "Why are you trying to check my son?" And I heard you guys discussing earlier. Coming up, if you made the neighbor mad or inconvenienced, you got to beat down for making her inconvenience.
Oh yeah.
Then you got to beat down for embarrassing the family. Oh yeah. You got to beat down for wasting people's time.
Mm-hmm.
But now everybody wants to try this touch and love. Haven't read one book or took one class, but he saw something on social media about raising these loving, touching kids and not correcting them kids, and that is another culture. I have clients who are from the Indian culture, from India. Their culture is not correcting their kids, and that's a generational thing. We can't in a situation where we're trying something new with these kids we have made them mentally adapt. I'm in the process right now. I take courses all the time to keep myself relevant for my clients. So I just finished up a 70-hour course last year with Liberty University on mental health. Became what they call an emotional intelligence practitioner, whatever that means. Mm-hmm. But just realizing all these steps, our kids have triggers that we have no idea what the triggers are. We haven't taken time to let them know what triggers are. So they get triggered. All of a sudden, they get caught up into this situation and don't know their history. Cultures get caught up in the fact of saying what they don't know anything about, and then they can go back and they can tell their mother that Miss Johnson tried to check me. Mama go outside for to beat Miss Johnson, even though her son just spoke out of turn to Miss Johnson. Mm. But yet we want to fight Miss Johnson. So I said, now you're setting this whole precedence up. And for me, I'm old fashioned. My kids, my neighbors knew. They call me a little different because I would have your child in a corner, as Bernie Mac said, in a heartbeat, and dare you say something. Yeah. Because kids gonna know. In my house, my mortgage oil is in trust, but my name is on the mortgage. Mm-hmm. So you don't get to say anything or act any kind of way. Go home, have at it, have fun, take care of yourself. But around my property, my house, even in the public, and we don't understand that we have to correct these kids, not worrying about the consequences, because as we saw today, somebody get mad about something, and I'm a big person of Second Amendment, but I'm also a big person on mental health testing before you can purchase. Because if you don't have the line in the sand mentally, then you should be allowed to have anything.
No, but let me ask the question: is that going to be like a poll tax kind of thing? You know, because a lot of people draw that up to, like a poll tax. You know, you got to go up there and you got to take some kind of litmus test before you get a firearm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, I'm a person. I'm a Second Amendment. I'm a big Second Amendment guy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't have an issue with people talking about, again, taking another step. The background check is fine, the whole deal is fine, but I don't have an issue personally with taking a mental. I mean, taking a short PI just to see where you are mentally, because that's something that it's got to happen. Because we noticed the last few shootings, the guns are purchased legally.
Yep. Right.
So they can't say stolen guns. It's all purchased legally.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But you know what? I've always thought there's a technical way to solve this problem. Just like we got serial number on every part of our car, you know, it'd be a serial number on every daggone bullet sold. So you know, like the casings and the actual round itself, it has a serial number embedded.
Correct.
If they get a piece of it, they know exactly where that bullet was purchased and who purchased it.
Wouldn't that be?
And that's the thing, you know, now they already know. That's the thing. We that's the part that I get kind of not humorous. Anybody passed away, but that we think they don't know instantly. With our surveillance in the United States, they know the second the trigger's pulled. They can't tell nobody. They don't know that. They know the second trigger's pulled, where it came from. There's too many cameras on the street. There's no way on earth.
Listening devices for that.
That the U.S. do not understand. They know what's going on. They clearly know where the shot came from and we'll pull the trigger. And that's the part that's just you know it's almost comical that they and not to say they found the guy, of course, already, and that's just wasting it at the Utah. But it's like they know instantly, you know, because the fact that these young guys don't know, and they load these weapons and the casing's got fingerprints because it's a solid object. Yep. So you already know when they find any cases, fingerprints on the cases, and when you buy legally, whatever, you got your fingerprint. So it's like that. You know, they already know what to deal with that. But it's just the fact that the original question, just we have to get back to where we're okay with checking these kids and not worrying about what we think are the consequences, because we're killing our kids. We're killing our own kids.
You made a statement about the generational shift. Okay, long time ago, our grandparents used to raise the whole neighborhoods, and now it seems like it's every family for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and most of that's, again, it's programmed because it's constructed in the United States. You realize that most of us can't live in our own neighborhoods, and my client base, as you guys know, is mostly 90%+ Caucasian. And it's interesting how we can look back. They can buy a house next door to their mom, and then the grandkids buy a house across the street, down the street.
Right.
That's right.
90% of us, we don't have that opportunity.
That kind of resource.
It's constructed a long time ago for us to set up that way. So we have to be across country. So our grandkids on the phone with their grandparents, compared to staying overnight, compared to having a free babysitter, compared to that going over there for Saturday. So it's a lot. So we had to work harder at it just because of the construct the United States has set up a long time ago. It's set up a long time ago. For this
and it is laughable. It is laughable, man, because you look at it, like you said, this can be fixed. Okay, it can be fixed, but we have to change our mindsets. In my estimation, change our mindsets. We can't look again. We get. I know, and I can speak personally, and I said Miss Johnson because it's Miss Johnson. Okay, if I did something down the block, Miss Johnson saw me. Greg, come here. She's so sweet. Okay, but when you got to her and you get that pop in your head or your ear pulled, we ain't got no cell phones to say 911. You know what I mean? We call 911. Whoever told these kids that they could call 911 or whoever said that it's capital, not capital punishment, but what do they call it? Abuse. For us to spank our child, for us to knock the hell out of our child when they do something wrong. Yeah. No. My son and I were talking about that the other day, man. Okay, I beat his, I whooped his ass. All right. But until he got to that one point where he looked like Denzel Washington in that movie with that one tear coming out his eye and just looked at me, I was like, it's time to have conversations now. Okay. It's a big dude and it ain't bothering him. All right. But we got to get back to that, man. Those generational shifts have to change.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. That's us as people, as black men. We have to. End of the day, we heard this saying from, we were kids, we beginning of the time. If you get the head off the snake, the body can't live. So it's systematic. We continue want to be cool. We want to be hard. We want to be hip. We want to be rappers. We now getting in our 50s, 60s and going back to dating 20-year-old women because social media said so.
That's what that is.
I mean, it's
the modern village now. That's
right.
Now,
So now we leaving our 50s, 40s, 50, whatever year old wives, and then they're still trying to raise grandkids. Now the grandkids are confused because we want to be on social media at 56. Stay, get a book and sit down somewhere and raise some grandkids.
Yeah. Get these kids straight, man, because well, I'm not saying we that's on this panel, but it's a bunch of parents out there that are raising killers. They're raising rapists. They're raising extortionists. They're raising arsonists. They're raising all of these criminals because they're not taking the time to build a solid base. Go ahead, Mo.
But isn't it fair that a lot of these kids, grandkids and everything included, don't have a good example? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have an example of, some examples that we had growing up. I mean, we just didn't have our fathers. We had our uncles, we had, Mr. Jones down the street that worked on cars,
cousins,
owner operators of businesses. We had those things so we could gravitate to them. And our parents knew where we was at, and our grandparents and our uncles and aunties. They knew who we was talking. I can remember a dude to this day that taught me I need to know electronics down on 15th and Broadway, And my dad let me sit down.
If you're not at home when that street light come on, that was a fear for us, man. I could remember myself. I can remember riding my bike as fast as I could because
to get home.
Dark, and I'm over there being managed talking to this girl, and I'm seeing it get darker and darker. Got to get home, and my parents would actually wait because there was a street light right across the street from the house. And when that street light popped on, you better be in that vicinity, right in the vicinity of the house. Okay,
that's right.
We don't hold at some point. The kids that are growing up behind us, they weren't held to that responsibility.
Right.
It's funny. I was in the store I was in California area maybe about a month ago. I was in the store. I'm gonna go to this side of town to get money to get something on it. So I was late. His son walked by me, and I said, "Man, put your pants up." And the mom turned around and said, "You talking to my son?" I says, "And I'm talking to you." I turned back, straight up face to her. But people know who you are. She looked at me and walked away. Normally, she went off. But people know when they see energy from you that it's the wrong day, the wrong time, lady. I'm here for this today because your boy needs to learn someday. He going to see a grown man conversate with you right now. So please say something else.
She wasn't ready.
No, she wasn't ready for that. And it wasn't respectful. It's just fact. You need to know he just walked by a grown man.
That's crazy, man. And that's our village. That's our village now, and it's crazy that it has to be that way because there's no respect. We were taught respect. We were taught to say, not just tell mom and dad, yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, but outside of the house. We see somebody that's older, we give them that respect. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. They don't do that now. They be like, what up, OG? What up, Unc?
Yeah, right. It's funny. I was talking the other day about that. That's funny. I was talking to the guy there about that. I remember when I was a kid, I go outside to shovel snow, make money, and in Michigan for the summer. So my dad would say, "Oh yeah, make sure you shovel Miss Jones' driveway first, Miss Johnson." I'm mad. I'm like, man, they widowed. But you're using my shovel. I even said
you using my shovel.
So I went down there and shoveled their driveway for free. It didn't get on my money route, but I knew he would tell me. I ain't gonna say it twice now. Yes, sir. I was mad about it. I ain't gonna lie, I was mad about it. But those that now you can't. And in the summertime for the lawnmower, go cut Miss Jones' grass, Miss Johnson's grass first, and then go make your money.
Right.
So, but it's because again, that's why I started off with the fact that we as men have to apologize. I was coaching a young lady in Alaska a year ago, and she was just going through stuff. And so finally, I told her, let me start the conversation quickly. I said, you hear me talk? She said, yeah. I said, look me face to face. I said, I, as a black man, apologize for what I've done to you. She cried about 10 minutes. That broke so much on her. She had no, why you say that? Because I need to say that to you. Because we started this foolishness and we got to own it. We got to move on, but we got to own it first.
Dude. Man.
I mean, yeah, I really get it, because a lot of folk, don't understand. We've been through some things, but we're stronger than that. Hell, we're still here.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
The thing we don't realize is how strong we are. We done been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so bad because we don't understand, because again, nobody set the table for our rules. Because I was, as you guys know, I've been in the Middle East quite a bit so far this year, and it's just amazing at how our people, black women mainly, let's talk about what it is, are telling me, how can I don't want to go there, man, name their rules. I ain't gotta look at no. If you're in another country, you have to go by the rules. If I am in LA, which I love going on the south side of LA, South Central, to eat because the food good. I walk over there and I go over there and I walk like I'm ready to eat here, and I walk with power. If I go over there weak, I'm finna get robbed. I'm finna get just because of where I'm at. But if I go when I'm Middle East, you can't look at me in the Middle East. You don't look at me in the eye, because guess what? What for? Well, I'm going to jail. Now you go to jail. Now I'm in jail. Because if you are in the Middle East, it is simpler. It's simple. It's their laws. It's their country. They can have what they want to have. Why she got to be covered up? Because she chooses to have her body seen by her husband. It's their laws. Now, it's their laws.
That ain't for everybody. That's their country.
Yeah. It's so quick to tell my daughter knew, she's older, but she knew, before you go anywhere out the house, what you got on? I got something else. Nowadays they ease out the house and they ain't worried about it. No.
You got a backpack on.
Yeah. You can't. No, I need to check your backpack because it's my house. It's my backpack. It's my backpack. It's my house. But we so caught up in it. I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. You're gonna be uncomfortable until you get a mortgage.
That's right. That's right. So
then you got my name on top of that. Then my name ain't free.
Yeah, exactly. Once that happens, that's that exclamation point at the end. My name is on it. All right. But who would be responsible as far as taking accountability for rebuilding this village? Would it be the parents? Would it be the community? Would it be everybody?
Go ahead, Mo.
I mean, that to me, that's something the community needs to take on. I mean,
not the parents.
That's the community.
Well, the parents are part of the community.
I'm talking about if I want to take Matthews Street, 47 Matthews to 51st or whatever, and we make a community out of that, and all of us understand we're on the same page, and that's the big deal. Let's get on the same page about what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. That way, folks that didn't show up at the meeting, they don't know what to do. So guess what? They don't get pushed to the side, but they fully understand that if you see my son walking down the street or my daughter walking down the street and they into some mess, you need to let somebody in our group know what the hell's going on.
You remember back, you remember back in the day, and mostly, of course, in the areas we grew up at, I would say the hood for people understand what I'm talking about. The bus come by and pick up the kids, and there was a white church come by, pick up the kids in the bus, take them to church, feed them, bring them home. People got mad about that. Are you kidding me? So you give them no structure. You mad about some folks that's trying to do the right thing. So they got to give them a bus. They can, where the kids going. Them white. What is you talking about? At least they have some kind of structure, getting a meal and getting a conversation. But we stopped even allowing that too as well. So it's been people trying to make the change. But like Mo said, we got to go in there and we got to do it one kid at a time. That's all we got, one kid at a time.
That's all
we got to make sure that we put conscious on everything too. I mean, our kids being conscious of the things that they doing, that doesn't just affect us. That affects the whole, community. So,
that's it. Because because in video games, their brain is. I mean, I just took this from a professional standpoint. I took this class by a professor, and I had no idea. I also do work with Lumosity, the company with the brain app on your phone. To realize this computer game, these video games have actually rewired their brains. I mean, this ain't no game. So now when we were throwing hands, now they're getting high. They're not thinking about it. They're shooting first, throwing hands. They don't know how to throw hands, first of all. And so because they don't understand the reality of pulling the trigger. Their reality is completely blown. So we got to start again, one kid at a time, get them back to reality. I have a client in mind over in Africa, and he's so funny how he gets his kids. They get 7 minutes of screen time a day. 7 minutes sounds low, but guess what? He's setting this because he's a professor over there, so he understands they're rewiring. Their reality is shot. I mean, they have no. Again, we were either high, drunk, or whatever. These kids now pop pills, get high, and get drunk. So they're not to mention
the sex part of it.
Yeah.
But you know what the main thing that's missing, if you think about it, every Sunday our parents had us in church.
Church, come on.
Yes.
How many of these kids actually go to church?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that's the fun. You can talk about that's the fun. People talk, well, I don't preach this. What is the preacher doing? He doing. He has accountability to a higher source, but you have accountability to make sure they're in it. Because once they're in the building, the Holy Spirit has to move. Because it said he's going to move. He has to move. But we so caught up in what a preacher driving a Benz and driving this and he's sleeping around. I understand all that. Find a different church. I understand it. Fine. Yep. But at the end of the day, once you get them in the building, the Lord has to move because he said he would. He's not a man that could lie.
That's right. And see, that same motion that you was talking about with the preacher ain't got nothing to do with the message.
Ain't got nothing to do with the message.
What people get twisted up. They see the roses, they see the suits, they see whoever he messing around with or whatever. But the man does have a message, and he's the messenger.
That's
he's
right.
not God.
That's right.
And that's where a lot of people get it twisted.
Yeah, I learned early. I learned early because you got to listen to the message and not the messenger.
Right. Yeah. And see too, like you said earlier, like is it the neighborhood, the community? Before it was the hood, it was a neighborhood.
That's right.
And see, that's what we got to get back to and get back and stop claiming it as a hood.
That's right.
Because you go get the reacts and the reactions that come from living in the hood.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. We had block parties and we had things that got together like that in the neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had the precinct commitment that got together. My father was a precinct commitment for a long time in the neighborhood.
Yep.
And see, we got to stop claiming the things that is what they call their culture. Because you spoke on earlier.
That's right.
This ain't the culture that we raised in. The culture we raised in, Uncle Jerry whooped us down the block.
That's right.
And
you know how y'all said Miss Johnson, it was Uncle Jerry, Andy B on my block, and then we all from Gary on 8th Avenue. Y'all remember when the man sold the grills?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He taught us in the summer how to weld. It wasn't weld in school. It was Mr. Smith on 8th in Cleveland.
That's right.
When you got to that age, y'all come in here in this garage. And I'm going to teach y'all how to do something.
Same thing in Detroit area. You took 55-gallon drums and cut them in half and
man,
together, and you was right.
He had the best smokers it was.
That's right. Yeah, the best.
Hey, Coach,
that's where it comes back. You have a lot of. I remember some OGs telling me this ain't for you. They had enough sense to know this ain't for you.
Exactly.
They tell you to get on. They tell you to get on. This ain't for you.
This ain't for you.
Go ahead and go to school. Go ahead and do that. They did. Yeah, you're right. Coach James, I know you got to go, man. It's that time. But I want to let you have the last word, well, your last word on this. We're going to still talk about it afterwards. But give us your last word.
Well, like I said earlier, we have to take one kid at a time. And we as men have to step up and own our place. Nothing against women at all. I'm not saying. But the word is clear. The word is clear. He said, Adam, where art thou? He didn't say, Eve, where y'all at? He said, Adam, where art thou? That means accountability is 100% on us. We are partners with our spouses, 100%. But accountability, according to the word in Genesis, accountability is on our shoulders. We got to take one kid at a time, remind them that, boy, you are royalty.
Yes,
you
sir.
are better than this. Continue with that.
That's right.
You are better than this. You this, like I said, this ain't for you. There's so many opportunities there for us to get these boys and take time out of our day, which is like when I do business coaching, the most valuable currency we have is time. I can make $100 again in the next 5 minutes, but I can't get back to 5 o'clock. Can't get back to 7 p.m. again on my life on the 10th of September. It would never be 7. It would never be 5. Well, I'm in Central. It would never be 5 p.m. Central Pacific, excuse me, ever again. Right. But I can make more money in the next 2 minutes by making some moves. But so we got to make sure our time is our currency. We got one young man at a time to remind them that you are to teach these queens and the young boys and get them to understand who God is, who Yeshua is, all these other. Because guess what? How would you treat a young man to young man? I said, how would you treat this young lady if you knew her father was sitting next to you? Her father had the power to completely destroy you, not physically.
Get you out of here, yeah.
But emotionally, spiritually. And he looked at me like, wow, that's deep. Yeah, it's deep because we don't take time to have boys understand that. You need to treat her because the more you tell her she ain't nothing, the more she's going to believe.
That's right.
And the more I tell you nothing, he going to believe it also. And we're always trying to fight for who we are because we start smelling ourselves at a certain age. So guess what? We're going to look for who. So we looked at social media, and that person's fake life looks good. So at that point, let's go get the fake life.
Yeah.
So we got, again, as men, nothing against women. As men, we had to step up, and we got to grab you on. When my grandson had issues with my daughter and her husband, so I brought him down with me for the same. He tried me for them. First, you got out. What were we doing after school? Running 2.5 miles, working out for 45 minutes. Every day? Yeah, every day. Yeah, every day. Go get yourself one. Let's go. He had an option: come in, cook, homework, check homework, go to sleep. Yeah, you're not an option. This is my house. You're gonna go by my rules. And he learned quickly. I don't talk to kids. You're my responsibility. I'm accountable for you. And he learned and got himself back on track quickly and sent him right back home again. He don't go with grandpa no more. Grandpa gonna have a schedule. It's on the refrigerator. Here's your schedule. This is what you're doing every hour of the day. You don't got to think about nothing.
Gonna learn today. Coach, tell everybody how they can reach you, man.
Coach James Bond, welldrivenlife.com, or just call me 866-775-5233. And I thank you, brothers and ladies, on this call because somebody got to talk about it. Somebody got to do something about it, and somebody got to stand on it. And I appreciate you guys standing on tonight. And I'll be back on here at a regular time with the full hour very soon.
Man.
And I
gotta come through.
All right.
You gotta come through, bro. It's good seeing you again.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
That's Coach James Bonds, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
My man. But yeah, man, that's and the reason I wanted to talk about this, man, because I was thinking, most of the people that are on my mom's block, they're gone. Okay. And you got this new breed of people coming in. So, and I think a big problem is that these kids don't feel like they're wanted. They're that we appreciate them, that we're invested in them. Okay. How do we make them know that we are invested in them, invested in what they do, invested in their success?
What I used to do is by example, if my kids brought people home, they fully understood how this home ran, fully. With no ifs, ands, buts, or maybe. You can join it or you can rock on down the road, but I'm not going to take no junk in my house.
In your house.
That's right, in my house. So either you can go by these rules or you can learn something right now, or you can just keep on rocking. But because I have gotten people coming to me, well, you trying to steal my kids. No, I'm not. Your kids chose to come down here. Ain't nothing being done. They're getting fed. They get to spend the night. They get to learn something. What's up? Well, they just spend a lot of time down here. I said, ask your kids. You don't got to ask me nothing. Ask your kids.
Steal your kids. Number one, I don't need no more kids. Okay, so I ain't trying to steal your kids.
You can see how hard I was laughing. I got 4 of my own.
but you're gonna respect my house, okay?
Yeah.
And I guess
they tell her,
everybody
"Hey,
that
Bishop, I give you help with your homework, Mrs. Bishop will too."
yeah,
You know,
for sure.
and
I don't
you're
mind
not
help.
the crib, you out there trying to pop it. You don't leave them at home all day.
And I started thinking about, when did this stop though? When did we stop policing? And I'm gonna call it, that's the harsh word to say. When did we stop policing our kids, the ones that are coming up? When did we stop that? Because that's the problem.
When there was a conflict with the man and the woman on who was the dominant figure in the relationship.
I was going to say something similar to that. I think when the divorce rate started going up, especially when females said they can get out of a relationship by divorce, and it might have been an abusive relationship, it might be a valid reason.
But the new guy comes in, Mo.
Started happening in the late 70s. It was a lot of divorces.
The new guy comes in, and the first thing the kid says, "Well, you ain't my daddy. You can't tell me what to do." And the mama does not reinforce that.
You know what else happened too? Women can raise children, but it takes a man to raise a man. And when they took the man out the relationship, you had women trying to raise men.
Gina, what do you say about that?
Well, now I'm gonna get.
Go ahead, Mo.
My piece on that. Okay, 8 times out of 10, if that young fella's got uncles and granddaddies and stuff that are good men, he gonna get raised right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I agree with that.
An example, you know.
But y'all saying, go ahead, Mo. I'm sorry.
If he's got that.
But y'all saying that a woman can't raise a boy to be a man. Gina, I'm asking you, do you agree with that?
I do agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely agree with that. That's why when we were coming up, we had mentors, like you said, the uncles and the pastors who were there in the lives of young men to teach them how to be men. No, a woman cannot teach a boy how to be a man. I've never been a man, so how can I teach that? You know,
I've never been a woman. How can I teach a girl to be a woman?
That's right.
A woman comes from a more loving perspective than a man does. A man's trying to teach the guy to be tough, stand up for yourself, take care of your family. A woman's trying to teach a guy to love your family, okay, to respect women, you know, as the man should be telling him to respect women too. But, you know, somewhere down the line, as these generations started coming through, that was lost, okay? I need to know what's one small thing that we can do to try to bring that village back.
We need more mentors.
Exactly.
We need more mentors.
Yeah.
You know, there was times when men were out in the street recruiting these young boys and mentoring them. We don't have that anymore.
That's when we still had the village. You just said what we need. We need the village.
Society now where everybody is in their own silo.
It's for themselves.
You run your home. I run my home. What you do over there is your business. What I do over here is my business. That's not how we were raised.
That's not
on my block on 9th and Baker Street.
Let's go, Gina.
Everybody parented. Everybody had their hands in what we were doing.
Hell yeah.
And what, you know, we had moms in our whole block. And that connection is still there because we're still connected. All
we
the
are,
people we grew up with on our street. We still connected.
Like
somebody passed away, we're at the funeral. Somebody needs something. Somebody have a party, we there. We still are connected. But this society is disconnected. It's disconnected. It's connected to social media. Social media does not give you connection.
Not at all.
That's a false sense of connection there. It does not give you connection. I don't care if you got 6,000 friends on Facebook. They're
you don't know none of them. You don't know them.
Right. And so that's what's missing is the presence, the presence of people, the people that matter in these kids' lives. And because they don't have that, they have no fear. Yeah. When you have no fear, you will do anything.
Get attention.
You're not afraid of the consequences. You're not afraid of dying. You're not afraid of what's going to happen. You're not afraid of going to jail. They'll tell you that in a minute. I'm not afraid of dying.
Yeah.
And so
Not
there's
until
no
they get there
fear
anyway.
in this in the society now with our young kids. They're not afraid of anything. They don't have to work for anything. Their parents give them everything. They don't have to, how they gonna work with these long nails that get all these teddy bears on them? How they gonna work?
They don't even have to read books anymore. You can read a book and it'll write your paper for you. You can get a master's degree and, excuse my language, still be stupid.
Yeah.
Mo, you trying to say something?
Oh no, I was just saying. I mean, back in the day, one of the biggest things we had is those like small apprenticeships. No matter what it was, if it was cars. I mean, think about school for a minute. First of all, there was a lot of flames lit in school for young where it was supposed to be taught at as in school. We had when we grew up at West Side, we had all of that stuff, electronics, cars, all that stuff. So the flames got lit there, or some kind of passion got lit there, but they also had apprenticeships, and you had Ivy Tech. You had so much stuff to go to. Now all those have been cut.
I went to school on Saturdays at Tolliston, called Saturday School back then for computers. When it was,
I wasn't gonna do that.
I'm a doing my dad.
On Saturday, I'm with her.
My dad. Remember how y'all said them parents? I had a dad that made me.
Yeah.
And he made me get on them Commodore 64s with the black and green background. He wasn't playing.
I go back farther. I go back to those trash 80s, is what we used to call them. The TRS 80s.
Look at y'all.
We used to call them trash 80s. And I remember learning binary language, and let me nerd out. I'm gonna shut up.
Me too, cuz.
First, back to the value of relationships over the value of things. Back in school, also, Mo, when you mentioned that, we had counselors that were very invested in what we wanted to do. They would ask us, "What do you want to be when you get out of high school? Do you want to go to college? Do you want to do this? You can." And they would say, "You can do this. This is something that you can do." All right. And when we went in these classes, okay. Now I was a comedian back in school, okay. So I got my ass warmed up a few times, all right. And my dad and mom, they were cool with it, okay. What did you do? Well, I told some jokes and the teacher didn't like it, but was class going on? Yeah. Did he beat your ass? That's what my father would say. Did he beat your ass? I was like, he paddled me, Dad. Okay, cool. I ain't got to do it then, right? And my father would look at me like, right? I'd be like, no, you ain't got to do nothing. We cool, all right? But they are the community, what am I trying to say? How I'm just all messed up right here. Hold on. Do the schools and the churches and the community centers still play the same role that they did?
No.
I can't even see how. I don't even see how the schools could play a role, because there's so many parents that go up there to fight the teachers if they so much as look crazy at their child. The school it's a whole different setup now. I've never seen. I'm telling you, I've never seen some of the things that I saw. I briefly put my granddaughter in public school, in Gary Public School, for about a month.
That was it.
And after that 30 days, I took her out so fast. I couldn't believe what I saw. The students, they were calling the teachers bees and and nothing was happening to them.
How? Talking to me.
Why isn't this student suspended?
Think about this.
Why is the school allowing the children to talk to teachers like that? And they wonder why they got a shortage of teachers now.
Well, my stepmother quit. She was a principal and she quit. Because she left here and then she went to Texas. Texas was a little bit more open. And these kids was, calling all kind of bees, and there's no consequences for the action. So guess what? They get out of school and they think they can do the same thing that they were doing in high school, but the consequences are totally different. You're an adult now. So when you're under 18, you can get away with all that stuff. Now, back in the day when we was in school, people like Charlie Mathcap, they went to boys' school.
Boys' school.
Hey, let's go on over there for a minute. There was a consequence of action. What I'm trying to say, either that they got the hell paddled out of them before they went there. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's no consequence for the action. That's why they run around here shooting up each other, and you know.
But
people,
too, I mean, how Gina was saying and Mo was saying, and Greg, but schools and churches today are so much different than when we were in school and churches in general.
Yeah.
And everything that was taught and how it was taught is completely different both ways.
But one thing that's the same, Steve, is them long ass sermons where they could cut it to NFL football time. Those are still the same.
You know what? Some of them, you know what? You got a lot of them where you be out of there. Well, by 11:30, they done did 2 sermons.
They need to hurry up.
He right. He's telling
They
the
didn't
truth.
I'm telling you. I went to a church not too long ago, and by noon, they didn't went through 2 sermons.
So they rolling.
Give me the name of that church, okay? But you know what? There's you remember that clip I played? I got it on here, but I'm not going to play it. I'm never going to play it again. Actually, where the little girl's mother said, "I'm going to put you in the bathroom, and you can say anything you want, any curse words you want." Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you won't play that anymore.
No, I ain't playing that ever again. Okay, because that's a prime example of what are you teaching your kid? Because you saying she can say that there, okay? And this is a little girl, okay? And I knew when she had that little silver stuff on her teeth, she was ready. She was gonna go. She's gonna be one, okay? But she's gonna go outside and say it, because mom let me say it in the bathroom, okay?
And
so
she
it's
gonna
cool.
say it to somebody that's grown.
She gonna say it to somebody that's grown, and as she grows up, the respect that she has is gone, okay? And her mother needs, she needs to be reprimanded for letting her do that, okay? And thinking it's funny, and you taped it too. And you're showing the world.
Well, you know what? That always backfires on those parents that allow that. When those kids get older and they come at them like that, then they're ready to beat them down. But it's too late for that. And that's why they have problems with their teenage children, because you want to be their friend. You allow them to curse, and it's funny, it's cute to you. That stuff is not cute to me. A child needs to stay in their child place. Let them grow up at the rate they should grow up. And that's not happening these days. Kids are not growing up the way in stages. They didn't mature. They're not mature in stages like we matured.
They make it some leaps and bounds.
Out the womb, and then they grown.
Come out the womb with a cigarette in their hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Ma, give me an ashtray. Okay.
Right.
Man, I'm gonna do some shorts, man. And after about raising these kids, and at the end of every short, the kid getting popped. Okay, everyone is gonna end like that. Pop. Okay, fade to black.
They're gonna say they're gonna charge with child abuse.
Yeah,
I wasn't the one who did it. Maybe I'll stop it before the
child abuse, right?
They're gonna promoting child abuse.
That's what I'll do. I'll stop before it gets there. But yeah, man, that's crazy.
I haven't changed my ways. I had to go up to the school with my granddaughter, and before I got out the door, I had grabbed her by the neck because she was up against the wall. Right in front of the security guard.
I told y'all.
But this is my thing. Don't call me because you have an issue with my child or my grandchild.
And then let me do what I do.
And when I get up there to chastise them, you got a problem. Then don't call me. You deal with it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mama, it only took one time for my mama to come up there in that raggedy ass house robe and curlers. Okay. And my father to come up there and snatch me out of my chair. And everybody looking at me, and I'm glad it wasn't high school. Okay, it was elementary school, but it only took one time for me to say, okay, I'm not getting to that point ever again. Okay, because number one, mom comes up in there, she had it half tucked in, she had some pants on, but she tried to tuck the whole robe in, but no, I was embarrassed.
Hey y'all, I love y'all. I got an emergency. I got to call. Hey, check out. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Blessings.
But that's we got to start. We got to get back to basics, okay? And it's going to take one community at a time, one family at a time, one child at a time to get back to the basics, okay? Mo, let's get ready to get out of here, man. I want you to talk about the Distinguished Officers Guild for a second.
Well, I can't say enough about this. The best thing that
Take your time.
Learned The best thing I learned is that lead through example. I mean, that's the way I learned. You know, um, the knowledge just don't jump in your brain like computers. This stuff don't jump in your brain. You got to ask somebody who knows something about it, not just your little buddies. So if you're out there listening, ask somebody about something that really makes makes a difference. I mean, video games is cool to learn, but if you took that same energy, that same exact energy, instead of putting it in a video game, put it in some kind of talent, learn how to make the daggone video game, make something better, improve your brain, make a daggone program. If you took that same energy that you try to get that move perfect, try something to make it perfect. Take that talent and use it for something else. It's a waste of time to just be doing something just because. I mean, we all play games, but we don't play them as much as these kids do. We really need to redirect that time. We really do.
We need to get them back to reading too, man. Okay, Gina, talk about it, girl.
Yes. Listen, I don't know if you guys have been following the Distinguished Authors Guild nominees on these platforms that they've been on.
A lot of them.
These interviews have been dynamic.
Yeah.
I mean, not two are not the same. Not two interviews. And every time I hear them, I hear more and more about their journey, and it's deeper and deeper. And I'm sitting there like, wow, like, listen, follow them. They've been on Dope Living all month of August. Go back, look at the replays. They are doing an awesome job. They're now on Get Caught in the Net. We had Net on here with the mental health.
Yesterday. Woo!
Yes. I'm telling you, you are going to, you're just going to be awed at these interviews. But you can also come out November 7th and meet these authors in person. We're going to be at Theater 47 in Park Forest, Illinois on November 7th. Get your tickets. Go to Eventbrite. The keyword is Distinguished Authors Guild. Get your tickets now. Get them early. Come on out and meet these authors. And it's going to be more than just, the networking part. Of course, we love that. But we give scholarships. You're going to have entertainment. We have a champagne gala. We'll have food vendors. It's going to be a night to remember. And I'm telling you, when I say that, I mean that it's going to be a night to remember. Every person who has attended any of the award shows, they're still talking about them. From the time we started in 2020, they are still talking about them. So come out, support these authors. Guys, writing books, that's not easy.
No, it isn't.
And a lot of these books, a lot of these authors are writing from experience. And so their journeys are real. What they talk about, what they've been through, it's real. And some people out here may be going through the same thing. They may have gone through the same thing. Come out and talk to some of the people who have already been through it so they can help guide you. And if you're looking to write a book, that is the place to be. We have editors, publishers, illustrators, authors who have workshops. Come out and get that book started. I'm telling you, once you talk to any one of them, you will be ready to sit down and finish that book or get that thought out of your head. And they are there to guide you step by step through the process. I'm telling you, we have some audience members, people who are from our audience who are now going through Rachel's class right now as we speak. We have people in the audience who have been to Natalie's workshops and either working on their books or have those books published now. So this is where you're going to network and you're going to meet the people that you need to meet in order for you to move forward. You know how many people are, it's so much that they're doing with the networking part of it. I'm just so proud of each and every one of them. We have Natalie, who now has starting a show called Melanin and Marriage. 36 years of marriage from her and her husband. I think if you're in a relationship, if you're having problems, if you don't know how to make that relationship work, that go to the people who have the expertise in it. Why are you talking to these people who have never been married?
I told y'all don't listen to me. I've been married. I'm 2-3 strikes out right now. So don't listen to me.
Go to these couples who marriage has sustained and get pointers from them. I tell people all the time, you don't have to go through it in order to learn. You can see from others, whether it's their mistakes or whether it's their successes. You can watch those people and pick up from what they're doing and not have to go through the trials and tribulations. So come out November 7th, as I stated, Theater 47 in Park Forest, Illinois. We will be happy. Everybody will be happy to see you. And I guarantee you, you're going to have a great time.
Good time. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. And I hope that there's more audience members than authors there this year. I hope that more people come that haven't written a book to come and sit there and enjoy the festivities. I want everybody to come through. So make sure you guys go through there. November the 7th at Studio 47. I got it right.
Theater 47. Theater.
Now we talked
studio.
We talked about the village, okay? And one thing that I wanted to do, that I wanted to tell the audience to do, and a lot of them are our age, some are a little bit younger, some are even younger than that, okay? At this moment right now, again, we always talk about giving people their flowers, okay? Tag 3 people who've been a part of your village, okay? And thank them. Thank them for raising you up to be the person that you are right now. Most of the people that are in my village, they're gone, okay? But if you can find 3 people, 2 people even, that have been a part of your village, thank them. Just give them their props. What's up, Mo?
One more thing.
Yeah.
Person that was responsible for my electronics career, I was in IHOP here in Nashville and sitting down eating. I said, and I told my wife, I said, that looked like the dude that got me involved, in electronics. Showed me how to fix TVs and all that stuff. And, he had a shop on 15th. And bro, I said, that can't be Mr. Virginia. He got up and went to the bathroom, and I looked him dead in the eye. He looked at me and said, Maurice? What?
Wow.
I had to buy
all
him
the way from Indiana?
Huh? He had moved to Tennessee. He had moved to Humboldt, Tennessee.
Wow.
Is
that crazy?
Up and moved to Humboldt, Tennessee. And that was unbelievable right there. I could not believe I was looking at the guy responsible, basically, other than my father. Of course, my father pushed.
Yeah, of course.
But guy that had to shop and had to, sold people stuff in NGI. And, he trusted me to, take their bank deposits and stuff down. It was a lot of stuff in business just as well as the electronic side. So, I mean, and I was 16 and I was working on TVs and things.
That's what's up.
I mean,
Gina, you got anybody that you could tag real quick?
Oh, yes, I have a whole lot of people that was in my village. My whole Baker Street gang, I could tag them. We all had each other's back. Everything all through, growing up, it was just a community. Our street was so different than neighborhoods that we know of today. Everybody knew everybody. We all would go over each other's house and eat dinner. You know what I'm saying? It was so different. And, if I needed a ride to school, my neighbor's mother would take me to school. It's so different now. And I want to tag all of my Baker Street gang. Of course, my mom. Oh my gosh, all of the DAG nominees, ambassadors. Oh, I give them their props. I just can't give them their props enough because they are so amazing. They are there for each other. They are there. This is not a group that it's all about me. It's all about each other. Yeah. And even when somebody needs something, they are there to help them or to tell them where to go to get it, or, here's some resources here. It's just so amazing. I could be here for another hour, bro, you know, giving props to
Yeah.
giving props. My best friends, Venus, Tracy, man, they were there with me through thick and thin, through some of the hardest times that I've ever been through in my life, and they are still there. You don't find friends like that these days. And man, it's just so many. It's just so many.
Let me tell you, man, there's one, you know, outside of my family, my brothers, my mom and dad, when I was trying to start doing this television thing, Gary, Indiana, 925 Kentucky Street, okay? There was a cable station down there, Channel 18. I went down there with an idea, and they wouldn't let me do it. One lady that worked there, she said, open that door for them kids, okay? They could be out there doing this. They could be out there doing that, okay? Let them kids do what they got to do. Gerald Ballard, Mrs. Ballard, she opened the door for me, man. And I would not be doing what I'm doing today if it wasn't for Miss Ballard, you know, God, of course. But if Miss Ballard hadn't forced them to open those doors and let me express myself. So shout out to Miss Ballard. She passed away a couple of years ago, but she was everybody's grandma. Everybody's grandma. She was well invested in Jordan and his baseball and football high school career. Miss Ballard was the salt of the earth, man. This lady, she loved everybody, all right? But she opened that door for me. She said, let that boy, let them kids come in here and do their thing, okay? And from that point, the dance show started. 925 Music Videos was birthed there. And everything else that I've done was because of that lady letting us in the door, man. So shout out to Miss Ballard. Appreciate you, okay? That's that village we talk about, you guys, okay? That's what we need, okay? You right now, right? These three people right here, Steve, Chris, we can be a catalyst to starting that village back, okay? But we have to know what you're going through. Ask us. We're there for you. All right. Like Gina said, she created a whole new community. I got a whole new dope living community. Okay. We got each other's back. And we're trying to make sure that that community, you know, we are our brother's keeper here. All right. Get back to y'all's. All right. This is Dope Living TV Live, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Peace.